What is going on, boys and girls? It is your boy Temporary Citizen. Today I'm at Coast Yamaha and I am on the Yamaha Niken. Right, now before we start, let's just address a couple of things looking at the bike. Now, obviously, the biggest thing about this bike is it's got two wheels at the front, whereas a normal motorcycle has one. Now, I very much need to note that that does not make this a trike, right? It's got a kickstand, it's got two wheels, but it's still a leaning motor vehicle. So you ride it like a motorbike. It's not a trike. So that's a big thing that Yamaha wanted me to talk about. So, yeah, this is the Yamaha Niken, and it looks like an absolute beast. Alright, so jumping on, first thing. Now, it's obviously a bit more weightier than a lot of bikes because you've got that extra fork and extra wheel up the front. So that'll be fun to learn and play about. And also, engine-wise, this bad boy is running a modified MT-09 engine. So let's see how we go. This thing is comfy. So the seat, if you look at it, it's slightly wider than the MT-09 seat. So it's got a little bit more flatness and width to it, a little bit extra girth for comfort. So we're down at Coast Yamaha today, obviously, as per most of my videos, but they are the only dealer of the Niken in South Australia, which is pretty cool. And part of that is that they're the only ones that are trained and authorised to work on these because they've got the unique double suspension, double wheel up the front setup. So this is the only place to buy one and the only place to really get one serviced and looked after properly. Now, another thing they're doing is this one's a demo. So because it's such a crazy unique bike that's, you know, quite different to everything else concept-wise, they are super keen for people to come out and give it a test ride. So make sure you do that. Make sure you help the channel out because it gives me a little bit of credibility. But come down here, check it out, take one for a test ride as long as you got your full license. Absolutely. So you've still got that 850cc triple engine pushing out sort of 115-ish horsepower. So it's not like this bike is a slouch, but tell you what, this feels just as comfortable as the Tracer does, which is cool. Because I loved that bike, I thought it was great. So it's like the Tracer but with added stability. I'm really liking this seat. So you look at the bike, right? I mean, I've barely done anything, but it just rides like a motorbike. That's like you've got extra wheels there, but the way that the suspension works, it still rides and leans like a bike. How bizarre. Except So the reason for this bike, right? Let me paint you a little story. So the idea for this bike is that it's designed for people that have maybe spent a bit of time away from bikes or aren't super confident. They want to upgrade, but they want a little bit of of extra confidence and everything else. So what Yamaha did was they designed this bike with the 2 wheels and the double suspension, and what that does is it gives it 40% more traction, extra braking ability and everything else, because you've got that extra wheel up the front. So you got that confidence through corners, and then you've got that added stability, which is super handy, especially in something like the MT-09, which is so light and flickable and erratic through corners. Having that same power plant, but just fueled differently. They played with the ECU, gave it more torque because it's obviously heavier. It's about 260 kilos wet, this, so it's it's quite a bit heavier, but it's not like that bike lacks power at all. So yeah, and then they've done that, give it the extra torque to sort of make up for the added weight and everything else. But it'll be super interesting to see how it goes through some of these hills, because right now I'm liking this. It looks like a very wide bike, but it's not crazy. Your mirrors are still coming out to where they normally do, your handlebars are still coming out. It's just this front part over the suspension here that's there. So you probably can't get as tight with your filtering, but it's not like it's unfilterable. It's not like it's any wider than, like a big cruiser or anything else. So that's cool. It's nice you've still got that practicality. Cool. So while we're going, let's talk about this dash. So it's sort of a little bit like an MT-10 dash. You've got a quick shifter, you've got a gear indicator, you've got your modes. This thing's got cruise control, which is sick. It's got adjustable suspension as well, super easy to sit there and adjust. Alright, do a couple of bump tests. Ooh, yeah. No, definitely smooth over speed bumps, which is nice, because, there's an extra wheel. And that low speed stability is sick. I like that. I rate that. Now, I must point out, not having an issue with the extra weight at all. I mean, I'm a pretty big, strong dude, if I say so myself, which helps. But yeah, definitely not having any issues with that extra weight at the slow speeds, because you've got that extra confidence of the extra wheel, so that's cool. Oh, comes with a power socket as well. That's what you want. That's straight off of the tracer. So yeah, we'll pull out, give this quick shifter a crack, give some turns a crack. Oh, it's got that MT-09 smoothness, so I love it. Whew. Yeah, no issues with speed whatsoever. Definitely very capable bike. Oh. Oh, this thing's cool. I like it. I rate this. So while we're going through some corners, let's have a little chat about looks. Now, I think the front looks dope. I think it looks really cool. I think it's because it's a bit more, it's like the MT-09 but fleshed out, so like that headlight style actually fits it, which I think looks cool. It's got your projector, they look like projector LED lights, which is nice. Man, these corners are smooth. There's just so much confidence and stability. Can't really pin it because we've got a Ranger here, but Ranger. Yeah, no, that thing is smooth. Alrighty. Yeah, this thing, it corners like a super stable bike. You know, you get none of that jitteriness in the corners of like your regular powerful naked bikes. So I rate that a lot. Yeah, that just confidence inspiring. Absolutely. I remember when I first saw the promo shots of these, I thought, what the heck are Yamaha doing? But I get it. I can see why. I could see why. If you're an older dude, you haven't been riding for years, you want to have some fun, but you also want to have that confidence, stability. This thing is just great. It makes a lot of sense. Well, that's not even in Power 1. What am I doing? Alright, now we are. Whew. Yeah, she's still got plenty to go. Don't you worry about that. Don't you worry your pretty little heads. She's not slow, she's not sluggish. Just remember it's Niken, like Nike, with an N. Dude, I like this. It also, so part of that, it's crazy good stability. It's got that low speed stability, and then also the highs. It just, I mean, there's so much more weight at the front, it doesn't feel squirrely at all. You're not getting that, especially on the lighter bikes. Once you start booking it, you get a little bit unstable. But this thing, man, whew, I like that. So yeah, so you got your cruise control, you can set that, which is super good. Cruise control on a motorcycle is a sick idea, especially if you want to do a bit of touring. Now, let me say, something like this, sick for touring already. I mean, it doesn't have a big fairing or anything, but it's so stable and comfortable. You got cruise control, you're bloody Gucci, baby. Chuck a couple of panel bags on this, you'd be good for days. The seat, so nice. Oh, this is just big ups all round. Honestly, get down to Coast Yamaha, do yourself a favour, and take this bad boy for a ride. Alright, let's see what this... See that brake, it's just so smooth. So even though each wheel only has one brake disc, that is some good braking, which is weird for a bike. Now that's actually a trike. This is not a trike. That bike was a trike. Very distinct difference. If he gets off, that thing's still standing up. If I get off without a kickstand, very expensive bike on the floor. Oh, this is... props to Yamaha. Man, I want one. Maybe I'll just leave. It's weird. It's weird because you look at the bike and you don't think it should be able to lean like that. And then you go through a corner and it just leans like a motorbike. It just leans. This is nuts. Alright, cruise control set. Nope. Let's go reset. No. Maybe downhill throw pins isn't the time to play with that. Ah man, this is good. I've never felt this much confidence leaning a bike. So stable. So yeah, obviously you wanted to take it touring, you put a bigger screen on this, put some bags on, and you are set. So yeah, so you got buttons there, you also get your traction control up here, same thing, there's 3 traction control modes, 3 power modes, number 1 being the most powerful, 3 being the least powerful. Traction control, you got 1, 2 and off. Just got it on 1 because it's how I ride on my XSR. And you know what, the power does feel... It does feel like it's mapped differently to the XSR, and it does feel like it's mapped differently to the MT-09. But that is just... Like, it is still a very fast motorcycle. Make no mistake. So yeah, the only thing is... You've got to be careful when you go around... You cut corners or you go around roundabouts or anything else, because you are that little bit wider at the front. You shouldn't really be cutting it that fine, but just something to remember. But damn, I cannot say this enough. Go down to Coasties right now. Well, whenever you're watching this, assuming they're open. Go down to Coasties, test ride one of these. Oh, 4 forks on the front for suspension. No wonder it's so smooth. No wonder it's so stable. And of course, being MT-09 based, finer exhaust and everything else for it would be sick. It's got that same rear guard as the new MT-09, so you can get fender eliminators that fit them and that'll fit this, because that back section is the same. But damn, I like it. Gets a lot of looks as well, this, which is not surprising because it is very alien looking. Whew, well, this has been my review of the Yamaha Niken. Thanks for watching, guys. Once again, make sure you head down to Coasties, take one for a test ride. It is sick. Shout out to the boys for letting me take it out and supporting the channel. Really appreciate it. Yeah. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, show your grandma the video. Hit me up for some key tags and stickers, because they're all available. Damn. I like it. Let me know in the comments what else you want to see me ride, and I'll do my best to get around to it. But this has been a fun ride. I'm glad I did this. You should too. Honestly, it is cool. It is sick. Great bike. Much recommend. This is the way of the future. I absolutely recommend it. Peace.